It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Welcome inside the Treehouse. I have to admit to you, Trey and Raj, that something has been on my mind since yesterday's show. And that is the OnlyFans model, Lily Phillips, who we learned just yesterday that after sleeping with 101 men in a single day back in October, made her sometimes feel robotic and saying it was so hard. I realized I have more thoughts on this topic, and I want to share some of those with you. Turns out while no, this is just so stupid. These are the kind of things that keep me up at night, where it's like, oh no, I could have said this, I could have said that. So here I'm going to. OnlyFans model Lily Phillips was left in tears after sleeping with 101 men in a single day, saying it was so hard and robotic. But she's not done yet. She wants to set a new world record in 2025 by sleeping with 1,000 men in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So while it turns out that taking 101 can fill every hole in your body, they can't fill the void in your soul.
In the words of Hawk Tua Girl, what's good for the whole isn't always good for the soul. Who knew we'd be able to reuse that gem?
Yeah, well, I'm glad we did. That's the gem that keeps on giving right there. Oh God, it really is. It's actually had, the more I thought about this, because we initially talked about it, and it's like, well, she was saying it wasn't what she expected and whatever. It's like, well, what did you expect? Because she said initially that she just sort of dissociated after a while and just kind of just fell into this routine of these 101 guys in 24 hours, to where if she truly thought about it, she couldn't really remember anything about them after, say, the 10th one, which of course makes you really sad for the 11th guy. But
didn't she say after, like, it was 30, the
30
just became robotic?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So there's a difference between the two sets of numbers.
You're in the first 30. It's special. After that, the magic's gone.
She previously insisted that she enjoyed the extreme stunt, but all that sex did not make her feel good. She says, I think by the 30th, when we're getting on a bit, I've got a routine of how we're going to do this, and sometimes you disassociate, and it's not like normal sex at all. Congratulations. Now you know this, even though I feel like the rest of us already knew it without having to do it, but whatever. And she says, it goes on, although it was a momentously frisky feat, it wasn't all that memorable for the young woman, who admitted she didn't remember much of it. She says, in my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. So she says after or around the 30th guy, she's in the routine and she starts to disassociate, and it's not like normal sex at all. But after like the 10th guy, she doesn't remember the guys.
Okay.
And she even went on to say, she said, if I didn't have the videos, she went on to say, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I did 100.
Just a gooey blur.
That ain't fog, lady.
Have you seen the actual interview, like her talking about this?
I've seen a clip or two, yeah. And she's emotional about it. I would like to point out, though, that this plays right into my theory that every news story can be made into a Hallmark movie. Okay. Big time OnlyFans star meets struggling YouTuber and turns over.
Literally?
Don't you mean she? You mean to say she turns over a new leaf?
Yeah.
No. I mean, she just only shows her butt now. So it's safer for Hallmark that way. And if Hallmark passes, this could actually make for a really good Disney movie. 101 escape the clutches of a greedy OnlyFans model set on making a coat out of them. I think I'm on my way to becoming a Hollywood producer. Why should they be the only ones to make bad movies and make money on it?
Yes. And the record is 919. And so why not just 920? Why 1,000?
It's a good round number. Yeah, because even in the story, it goes on and talks about how, you're right, Raj. Yeah, she does want to, despite the emotional and physical toll that 101 dudes took on her in 24 hours, she wants to set the new world record. The existing world record is set by Lisa Sparks. She's an adult film star who bedded 919 men in one day at a sex industry event in Poland in 2004. And Lily Phillips has claimed that she wants to take on this new challenge, and she said on a post, 1,000 men in 24 hours, male talent casting call, 18 plus only, location to be determined.
I mean, if the previous records has stood for 20 years, I guess she wants to break it and make sure she's got it for another 20.
Yeah, I mean, when Barry Bonds broke the home run record in a single season, he didn't stop at just one additional one. He kept on juicing and kept on swinging, kept on hitting home runs, which coincidentally is juicing may have to be something that Lily Phillips considers on this next feat. Also, maybe she can consider taking some feet in there too.
I was trying to think of what her character's name would be. Cruella wouldn't be the right one.
No, that would just be the name for her vagina. Can you imagine being, I don't know, you're holding number 428 and you're looking down at that thing going like, well, I don't know if I want to go in there anymore. Because in order to hit 1,000 in a day, you're going to have a larger number in attendance ready to go, because some guys aren't going to be able to do it. Some guys are going to back out for various reasons, not the least of which is they might be afraid of that thing after, 300 or 400 other dudes get in on it before they do.
Gosh. You need a lot of fluffers too.
Yeah, she did say that there will be more on hand because there's some performance anxiety
on hand, on mouth, on feet, whatever it takes. A big team effort. So anyway, go ahead, Trey.
That's also why you have to have some extras, because occasionally the fluffers will do too good of a job.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Time now to talk to Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration for your free roof inspection and to get yourself on the very important Cook list. 833-COOK-DFW or the website cookdfw.com. It's that time of season, Daniel, and that season is, of course, people on their roofs decorating for the holidays. Many people already have decorated, which means they're going to take them down soon. And is that when they're going to discover that maybe they did little damage to their roof when they put up Santa Claus and his reindeer?
Dan, it is that time of the year. Merry Christmas to you and to everybody listening. And yes, sir, we see a lot of roof damage, especially around the edges of the people's homes. A lot of people will skirt around the sides because they get scared about going too far up, and they kind of hold themselves up around the edge as they're plugging the lights around, or they'll hold the ladder against the side of the roof and it'll damage the shingles all the way around the edges. So there's a lot of things that happen to shingles, and it may not damage it right away enough to leak, but it's going to potentially put it there. So We always suggest having your roof checked out once a year, at least, obviously, for all the weather that we have. But especially if you know you've had people on top of your roof hanging lights or decorations, or you see some shingles that are starting to fold on the corner. So let us come out. Let's do an inspection. May need some minor repairs, but it could save you potentially thousands of dollars later on.
833-COOK-DFW. That's 833-COOK-DFW, or that website, cookdfw.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You need to follow the Treehouse on social media. And in the case of this next segment, you really need to follow us on Instagram especially. But across all social media channels, follow the Treehouse at Treehouse on Air, at Treehouse on Air. And the reason why I bring up how important it is to follow us on social media and Instagram is because sometimes you'll be introduced to something miraculous, or just really hysterical. Either way. Our very own Raj Sharma introduced a Christmas controversy on Instagram. And I'd like to share this Christmas controversy with you inside the Treehouse in case you haven't seen it on our social media channels at Treehouse on Air. Once again, that's at Treehouse on Air. So here we go. This is, according to the caption, the greatest Christmas commercial ever made. It starts out as a single shot of a woman opening up her front door. She's wearing a robe, and she's yelling at her husband about the Christmas gift she just received.
If these cheap Kmart earrings are the best you can do this Christmas, then you can just follow them out the door.
As she opens the door and begins to throw the cheap Kmart earrings out of it, she sees parked in the driveway a brand new Cadillac Escalade with a big red ribbon on the hood, and her tone immediately changes. Her hand covers her mouth. She's so excited. And the man shows up behind her and hands her the keys, and she runs to the vehicle, opens the car door. Can't wait to turn the ignition. It's a Christmas miracle. And the Cadillac blows up with her inside it. And the tag at the end is Merry Christmas, bitch. It's a beautiful ad. It's a beautiful story. It's right up there. It's right up there with Hemingway's classic short story, Baby Shoes, Barely Used. Or actually, I think that was Baby Shoes, Never Used. But still, this would be Cadillac Escalade, Barely Used. I didn't think about it at first, but then I read the first comment that seemed to be a little miffed about it, and I was like, oh no, here comes the pearl clutching crowd. And man, Raj, you stirred them up. It's like a hornet's nest of I don't want to say that all of the commenters are female, and of these commenters that are female that take issue with the content of this post, I don't want to say that all of them feel self-conscious about the guilt that they may have buried deep inside them for, well, all the they put their spouses through. I'm just assuming. But there are a lot of them.
Yes.
So far, one of the top ones is a lady. Again, I'm assuming it's a lady. Tell me how this is the best commercial, blowing up your wife.
Mhm.
To Raj's credit, he responds, because no one got blown up. The actors agreed to it. They read the script and found it funny.
Yes.
It's
no
fake,
one actually
lady.
got hurt.
Let's take a step back and realize this is Instagram or this is television.
Mhm.
This ain't Baghdad. Okay.
That's right. Yes.
Another one saying, hey, just asking, which, by the way, if you ever start a comment online with saying, hey, just asking, you're not just asking. Okay.
Correct.
You're disclaiming. Anyway, Survivor Mouse says, hey, just asking, isn't Christmas supposed to be a religious holiday? So just wondering about this violent commercial connected to Christmas. So maybe I'm missing something, or maybe Christmas isn't celebrated as a religious holiday anymore, and it's just a commercial celebration that's okay with a hearty laugh directly connected to bombing / killing your spouse. Like I said, just asking.
And that is an absolutely valid point. If you have never gotten upset about what you received for Christmas, then you can make that statement, and you are right.
But unless,
yeah, that's a big unless. If you've ever been mad about what you got for Christmas, shut up.
If you've ever even been slightly disappointed in the gift that your spouse gave you for a gift, then you need to I hit the beep in the wrong part. Then you need to shut the up. But people don't. It's the internet, and people like to comment like crazy. The Survivor Mouse then doubles down on the just asking comment by saying, I guess it might seem like it compared to the rapidly sinking moral climate of this generation. I'd like to step out of that comment for a section and say, what do you mean this generation? That actor, those two actors are definitely Gen X. One, because this commercial was not shot in HD. They might be in their late 20s, early 30s. And if this commercial is not shot in HD, they're easily in their 40s and 50s now. So once again, shut the up.
It references Kmart.
That too. Trust us. If there's a generation out there that can take a joke, it's us. It's Gen X. Well, not all of us, clearly. Anyway, Survivor Mouse goes back to say, nowadays you got to follow along with the majority, go with the flow, and heaven forbid, never question anything, even if it's brazenly obvious. The most important thing is to be liked and accepted, even if the personal cost is high. Integrity and self-respect. That's a pretty high price to pay to be liked.
Yeah, I'm a stand-up comic. I gave that up a long time ago.
Good on you. As radio people, Trey and I don't know if we ever even had it initially. No. Trying to see if there's any others that let's see.
Oh, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of how is this funny? You blow up your wife. Now, my thought was, if this was reversed and it was the guy that gets blown up, there would be far fewer comments.
Oh yeah, there'd be less. There'd be almost zero outrage. There'd be the occasional super female outrage, who is typically outraged at female depictions of female violence in joking form, like this is. But she's so offended that she'll go crossing over into the other side and also being offended for the man that never asked for her sympathy or defense in the first place.
Yes.
Plus, I mean, if it was a guy, what are they going to say? Well, if this is you only got me a tie and a cup, but that's all you got. That's all you're ever going to get. Sorry.
Expectations are a real bitch, man.
Yeah.
Real quick, Raj, what is this an ad for? Because you said it's the best. You said it's the best commercial ever. So I was wondering, what is this actually an ad for, or is it just a spoof thing?
It's just a spoof thing. There's it's all. I mean, you put the title up to get eyes on it. So the best Christmas commercial ever made.
I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't an actual product or service being sold, because if there was, I was going to go buy it and contribute to the fine company.
If it was, it was probably UK based, because their commercials tend to get a little more funny.
Someone else says, nope, not okay, but tells me a lot about you and those who are laughing. So I guess it's informative. Okay. This really is one of those. It's actually a great microcosm, because you, Raj, as a stand-up comedian, you know this. Trey and I know this. Doing radio for so many years, is some people just have different senses of humor. And guess what? It's okay. Not everyone has to have your same lame, boring ass vanilla sense of humor. Some of us are a little more exciting.
Yeah. And that's the thing is it's subjective. I found it funny, so I posted it on my page.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop at my page. You can keep going.
Yeah. Your thumbs, unless your thumbs have been severed.
Yeah.
In an accident in which you got an Escalade for Christmas and it blew you up. then lighten up, Francis. Like Ortiz here, he has this all in perspective very well in the comments section. Give her a gift that'll blow her away.
See, now that's funny.
Yeah. and that's what we're trying to cultivate around here is a treehouse of funny. And that occasionally makes some ladies clutch their pearls, then so be it.
Yes. And I always stop and go, the actors agreed to this. Like they read the script and went, oh, that's hilarious. So we're going to do this and we're going to make this commercial. And I think it's hilarious. And so your outrage is stupid to me when especially when people are directing it towards me. I'm like, I didn't make this.
The other thing that could be outrageous in this is in the commercial, the woman, the female actress, she sees the script. She could have said, oh my goodness, this is really insulting women. To which the director or the producer could have said, if you think this is insulting, wait till you see how much you're getting paid versus the dude.
Yeah.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Let's get Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing into the Treehouse now. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, give her and all of them there a call, 214-368-3838, the website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. When I had my house in Dallas, Jacqueline, you came out a few times to help us with some issues, and your response time was phenomenal. And it wasn't just because it was me. It was because that's the kind of company you run. You go out of your way trying to help every client and try to get there as soon as you can.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is that plumbing is unfortunately a need and not so much a want. Yes, you can want to remodel the bathroom and that's not pressing, but typically when it comes to service or leak investigations, et cetera, if you've got a stoppage on the main line and you don't know and you keep putting liquid or, waste into the drains, if it has nowhere to go, it will come back in the house. And at that point in time, it's no longer a want, it's a need. And that sort of thing can't wait. When you have those emergencies, you have got to figure out how to manage the crew so that you can have the best response time.
That's right. And they'll show up and they'll do it quickly. Call Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing for any and all of those plumbing wants and needs. 214-368-3838. And again, that website, brooksplumbingtexas.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
There are all sorts of fun things to be had at treehouseonair.com. In addition to finding our social media accounts, you can also check out our YouTube channel. The link for that, along with some of our videos, are right there on the website. It is treehouseonair.com. And again, you can get some of those videos of Treehouse TV on the website as well, treehouseonair.com. treehouse.com. Trey, did you have something else you wanted to add to the greatest Christmas commercial ever that ended with a husband blowing up his wife?
Well, yeah, because I mean, the guy could have looked at the script and go, "Guys, this isn't real." He would have at least had her take a test drive, and the driveway would be too obvious.
Then that's where Forensic Files comes in.
Yeah. You are right, because if you wanted to really be sadistic about it, you could have let her drive off a little ways and really start to enjoy the new gift that she thinks that she's going to have and enjoy for years, when in reality it's going to be seconds.
My thought was when it blew up, I was like, clearly not real. It would have shattered the windows. Come on. Like,
yeah, the guy wouldn't have been able to stand that close to the blast and feel nothing.
Right.
Or even duck. But it is a high quality item that we have posted there at Treehouse on Air on Instagram. We've talked a little bit this week about all the craziness over the drones over New Jersey, alleged UFOs off the coast of Oregon. And elected officials, a number of them from both sides of the aisle, have been calling for more regulation or more transparency. But there's one particular state senator from Pennsylvania that had, I believe, probably the strongest take of them all when it comes to the drone controversy. Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano is getting destroyed over a tweet mistaking a giant Star Wars TIE fighter for a captured drone. Yeah.
Okay.
I need to start a file somewhere that is titled "Things I Wish I Was Making Up." Because I honestly, I used to think our elected officials were supposed to be the best of us, but I was way wrong. They're the worst.
Oh,
now granted,
yes.
I had that thought when I was a child, and the older I got, the more I realized that, yeah, our elected officials are not necessarily the best of us. They're just the people that, won. But yeah, it really was. This guy, there was an account that posted, I believe it was a parody account that posted a Star Wars TIE fighter, almost a life-size one, strapped to a flatbed, saying that this drone was captured over the ocean. And this state senator from Pennsylvania said, "This has got to stop. We need answers." Like, dude, how do you not know an Imperial Intercept fighter when you see one?
Well, and he even in his tweet, it's like, I guess Ukraine's more important. It's like, dude. and then I don't know. I don't know what story you've got, but then, I mean, he continues because after he gets called out, then, he's like, well, of course I knew it was a joke. I can spot a Star Wars prop. Okay. Then you would have known it was a TIE fighter.
And you wouldn't have said anything other in the first place. You're busted. Let me see if I can show you the photo here, Raj.
I mean, it's hard to, for any human being, it's hard to admit when you're dumb.
It is hard, but trust me, it's better for you in the long run if you just take your medicine, say, you know what, I effed up, my bad, I'll do better, and then it's over. When you say my bad, I'll do better. That's why all the big time PR agencies tell you to admit fault and then move the conversation forward. Mm-hmm. All you've got to say is my bad, I'll do better. And it's over. It's over. But if you double down or you say something other than my bad, I'll do better, then it's just going to get worse. So the photo that the State Senator Mastriano posted, the caption is "Breaking news. Crashed drone in Orange Beach, retrieved from water and taken to undisclosed location for further investigation." And it's a photo of a flatbed driving down the highway with a black Star Wars TIE fighter ratchet strapped to it. See?
Yeah, come on now,
dude.
Even I know what that is, and I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
And here's the other thing. If they actually made TIE fighter drones, they would be everywhere.
I just got chills because that one's big enough where you could get in. I want that because it won't be strapped to a flatbed unless they're delivering it to me. So then I can fly it around places. Why aren't some of those manned flying machines that we've seen in recent weeks and months saying, hey, would you take this to work? Would you commute? This only costs $12,000, or it can get 100 something miles on one electric charge. And it's basically a human. It's a drone basically, but you can get in it. So it's a manned aircraft that you can get in and fly around. They need to make those in Star Wars form. They'll sell out.
Yeah, but there's also people that will shoot you down. So you run that risk. Like, how bad do you need to get to work?
The rules of engagement are clear. You do not fire unless fired upon. If you fire upon me, I will respond.
Yeah,
I will deploy my X-foils to attack position.
I don't know what that meant, but that was the nerdiest thing I've ever heard you say.
just stay on the highway. Yeah. Don't fly over any ranches. You'll probably be fine.
And here's the other thing where this drone thing is getting completely out of hand. There are drones everywhere. You can buy a drone for $30. Mm-hmm. Just because you see one doesn't mean there's anything. Like now, I saw a post on Facebook. There's a drone above Will's Point. It's all over the place now. It's like, just because some jackass is flying his drone around doesn't mean you're special or they're looking for anything. They're not looking for intelligence in Will's Point. No offense.
There's none taken because that's a fact.
I think if there's anything if you wanted to take one sentence out of context from this show, but it still be in context for anybody that sees it, it's that statement right there, Trey. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Well done. That was a clutch performance. You managed to get the line of the year in right before the end of the year. Well done. Yeah.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You can advertise right here inside the Treehouse. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. That is treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. There is some troubling news coming out of Italy, more specifically, the Vatican. The Vatican is on the brink of bankruptcy due to the dramatic decline in global donations under Pope Francis's leadership. Maybe this explains why the Pope is opening all those doors on Christmas Eve. He's looking for money he knows he left somewhere around here. Because we just mentioned, I think it was yesterday, again, this was another story that stayed on my mind about how the Pope on Christmas Eve is going to be opening 5 sacred portals in a ritual that's never been done before. So maybe there's a connection between the Vatican being on the brink of bankruptcy and the Pope wandering around Rome, opening up doors, thinking it's a game show, thinking it's the Catholic version of let's make a deal, and he's really hoping to get the big one behind door number 2. And let's be honest, he's not the only 88-year-old man wandering the streets, opening up doors.
And if they needed money, they can just sell some of the stuff that's in their archives.
The Vatican has their own currency. It's all speculation, but it's estimated that they probably have close to upwards to $1 trillion of relics, artifacts, gold, lots of gold in those basements.
And that stuff is backed by more solid items, by more actual goods and things than cryptocurrency is.
Even regular currency, they technically probably have a gold-backed currency. I mean, it's and the fact that they're talking about that it's could affect the pensions of the priests and everything else. Like, if I'm a Catholic priest and you're threatening my pension because you don't want to have a garage sale.
Ain't no garage sale like a Catholic garage sale. Mm-hmm.
I'd go to that.
Well, not only would you go to that, Raj, but can you imagine the faces on everyone at Antiques Roadshow when you show up with splinters from the actual cross? You show up at the table on Antiques Roadshow with the Shroud of Turin and say, I got this at a garage sale in Italy for like $5.
I got Jesus' yearbook. That's what.
I mean, at this point, they can auction off. They're like, "Hey, highest bidder, we'll make you a saint."
I would love to be Saint Raj. I don't know what I'd be the patron saint of, but I would love to be.
You'd be the
Saint
patron
Raj.
saint of Antiques Roadshow.
Yes, that show is fantastic.
I do like the idea though of Jesus having a yearbook because that also means that he probably had class with Lucifer, who I would imagine signed his yearbook along the crack.
Have a great summer.
I mean, have things really gotten that bad for the Catholic Church that the Pope is just wandering the city looking for money?
No, this is just a stunt. You gotta love the effort that they're putting into this story.
Well, and it's they're blaming because Pope Francis has been fairly controversial in that he has been very progressive in his stances versus the old guard of Catholic theology. But they're not, what they're not saying is, oh, hey, there was a global pandemic. That really put a dent in church donations because no one was going to church. That put a big dent in things.
Yeah.
And we've also been a global recession, inflation, everything else. The
economy's been hard on the Catholic Church.
Again, you could put a blindfold on somebody, send them down to the basement and go, just pick something. And it's probably worth, 8-9 figures.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea. You could sell raffle tickets and the winner gets to go into the catacombs of the Vatican and grab one item. It's sort of like Supermarket Sweep, but in the belly of Vatican City.
Yeah. And
they're going to come out. You're right. They're going to come out with something that's worth millions of dollars.
Yeah, and then by the time you get out of the catacombs, that's when they kill you and put it right back.
It's because you found the evidence of aliens that they've been covering up.
Sorry, you made a wrong right-hand turn.
Yeah.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You are inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. Today is Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. Paulina Gretzky turns 36 today. She is the daughter of Wayne Gretzky and his wife. Like here it just says Wayne Gretzky's daughter. It's like he didn't just her out. I mean, he had to have her with his wife, who, by the way, was one of the stars of Police Academy 5.
See, that's only you've seen that movie.
No, others have too.
Mm-mm.
Maybe Michael Winslow saw it in a drunken stupor. I don't know about Bubba Smith. I don't know if the guy that played Hightower ever bothered to watch it, but I'm sure I wasn't the only one. Other birthdays today. We've got Jake Gyllenhaal. He is 44 today. He's one of those guys that I sometimes think is a really good actor, and then other times he'll do a film, and I'm like, why? Like I think it was Prince of Persia, where he's supposed to play a Persian man.
Sure.
I wondered why'd you do that one? Like Donnie Darko is supposed to be like this great indie cult film, and he's a good actor and everything, and he's a good actor in other films. But then he goes and does the Roadhouse remake, and you're like, but why, bro?
But also that has to, can you imagine being all the Persian actors in LA? Like, seriously? Like, we're here too.
Sorry, you're already typecast as a terrorist, sir.
That's what it is.
Yeah, for some reason I'm kind of drawing a blank on some of his other, like, quote unquote good roles. One of the bad one. What's that?
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that took some serious acting chops.
Okay.
But he was also in Ambulance, the Michael Bay film, which for some reason, I don't know why, but every time I saw any sort of reference to the film, whether it was in a commercial, a trailer, or a poster, I in my head, I keep saying ambulance.
Did you see the movie?
Yes. I like action films. Okay, sue me. It's a Michael Bay film. I'm usually a big fan of his movies. Mm-hmm. Michael Bay films, big on effects, small on story. They're great when you're working out at the gym. You're on the elliptical for 30-40 minutes. Just something, just kind of pass the time. And there's not much better out there to pass the time with not a whole lot of thinking than a good old-fashioned Michael Bay film. Anyway, other birthdays today. Alyssa Milano, she turns 52 today. Model and actor Tyson Beckford is 54. Kristy Swanson turns 55, star of the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. The main reason I like bringing that up is because, yes, I've seen the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. Not just because it starred Kristy Swanson. That was a big part of it. But after seeing the film, It gave me a new appreciation for what a fine actor Paul Rubens was, because he played Dracula's assistant, like number 2 guy. And he was really, really funny, really, really good in it. And it was finally a film that I could appreciate Paul Rubens in, where he wasn't playing Pee Wee Herman.
Gotcha.
And that was right after he had, been caught in the adult theater. And so that was, I think, probably his first role after that whole scandal.
I think it was. And he owned it. He absolutely nailed it. He has one of the greatest death scenes in movie history. And if you haven't seen it, one of these days I'll show you. But by Trey's reaction, I think he's seen it.
Oh, I've seen Buffy. Yeah.
Ooh, oh. I have not. So
you're missing out, brother.
You remember? It's the closest thing I can give you a reference to that you might have seen is Deadpool 2, when his death scene. It's where,
gotcha.
It's like, oh my god, and then he comes back. It was kind of a lot like that, just cornier, but it was funny.
Yes.
It's like Family Guy when he hurts his knee.
A little bit. It's a little bit like that. Yeah. But again, it'll give you a new appreciation for Paul Rubens, the actor. Other birthdays today. Chris Angel, the street magician / illusionist, whatever it is 57. Robert McNaughton is 58. Did you have something on Chris Angel, Raj?
No, I didn't know he was that old. And I was in Vegas, and it used to be Cirque du Soleil presents Mind Freak, and the show was so bad that Cirque took their name off of it. And I was at Planet Hollywood, and there were just stacks of tickets at the blackjack table. And they're like, you can take as many as you want.
Well, maybe that was the ultimate Mind Freak, was stealing money. Jennifer Beals is 61 today. She originally played Alex Owens, a steel worker by day, dancer by night in Flashdance. And can we just take a moment to appreciate that plot line? Jennifer Beals in an 80s movie classic, where she plays Alex Owens, a female steel worker by day, stripper by night. Seriously, the 80s. Is there a better decade for films?
Yes.
Not if you were a writer and had a stupid idea.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this: everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You are back in the Treehouse now. Dan, Trey, and Raj. We were just talking about Jennifer Beals. It's her birthday, and how she starred in one of the 80s classics, Flashdance, where she played Alex Owens, a steel worker by day and a stripper by night. And Trey, I think you did bring up a really solid point in the break there about the 80s and why it made such a great decade for Hollywood.
Manimal.
You're right. Okay, the 80s was a drug-addled decade where you could get pretty much anything on TV or in the movies. Because if you think about it, just think about the pitches that had to happen to get these things done, like that, like Manimal.
Mm-hmm.
What does that pitch sound like when you walk in? Because it's got to be a short one. It's got to be quick. So what do you tell them?
8 balls over there. 8 ball and booze are over there. No. Here's the pitch.
Sign this.
Yeah. The guy cast with a magic spell, and he could turn into a cat or a bird. And there was something else that I don't remember.
It's a dog. I think one of them was a dog, right?
I mean, how do you sell? Okay, there's a talking car.
Yeah. So Michael Knight is a man who does not exist. Got it. Okay, just sign here. I got this great idea called Alf. There's an alien who lives with these people, but he likes to eat cats. Sign here, please.
The Dukes of Hazzard at least had some basis of reality. A couple of rednecks in a car.
Yeah.
Run
They
and
can change a
shine.
flat tire pretty quick. Yeah.
with a hot cousin. And maybe after a little bit too much moonshine one evening, the family lines get a little blurred.
Yeah. A little sexual tension.
And then your old quote unquote Uncle Jesse shows up to shut it down. See, it really was. The 80s really was the cocaine fueled heyday of Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way those shows were getting on the air is by somebody being impaired the whole time. Like you can't be sober and put something like that on TV.
Well, I'll give you the quick IMDb synopsis for Manimal. A suave and elegant university professor who can shapeshift into any animal fights crime along with a female New York detective and his right-hand man.
Sold.
How much?
Who is the star of that show?
Jonathan Chase.
Okay.
Jonathan Chase. He's one of those guys, like, if you may not know him by name, but if you saw his face, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. And that's why that was his one lead. And everything else, he's just one of those character actors that you've seen a bunch of times.
He's one of those guys that was probably in 2 or 3 Emmanuel movies.
Oh, gotcha. It went from Manimal to Emmanuel.
No, Emmanuel. He didn't go to Emmanuel Lewis. He wasn't good enough to be on Webster. Which that's another 80s brainchild. White family adopts little cute black kid. Hilarity ensues.
Yes. It was a Different Strokes ripoff. It's the same thing.
It was.
Rich
But
white
hang on,
guy takes two.
I left
If you
out
watch
the most. Oh yeah. No, but see, I left out the most important part about Webster, and that was white couple adopts cute little black boy, keeps him in a dumbwaiter inside the house.
How much? But if you watch the beginning of Different Strokes, he just takes them off the basketball court. Like he just takes them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. The beginning of Different Strokes just looks like a kidnapping.
It is a kidnapping. He just has a lot of money, and they're like, "Cool, we'll stay."
Yeah, he's rich and he's white. He can keep them.
Yeah, he pulls up in a limousine and takes them off the basketball court.
Yeah, the other
had a problem.
asked for some great poupon. This guy's taking black kids from their homes.
Yeah, they're probably on their second line when they're pitching silver spoons. They're like, wait, and get this, he'll have a black friend.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh God. I really do love the 80s. Don't make them like that anymore, that's for sure. All right. They don't make things like they do inside the Treehouse. That's for damn sure. Just us. Only us. For all things Treehouse, go to treehouseonair.com. Follow us on social media at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, at Trey Trenholm 1. And for Raj, it's at Comedian Raj. We will see you tomorrow right here inside the Treehouse.